Hello, everyone. It's Rick. It is Sunday evening, March 19th, 2017. If you need to reach me, you can reach me at rick0327 at me.com. Anybody new? I don't do phone calls, guys. It's nothing personal. When I first started doing this stuff, I did. And, it's too much energy. It's nothing personal. Um, Basically, everybody's case is the same. You got screwed. Trust me. You're going to tell me a story, and it's not much different than the person before. And I'm confident that my affidavits will help. The PDFs that I provide will help. My videos will help. And, when you give me a gift, I answer emails. Everybody that has, given me a donation or a gift, they'll, if I got somebody on the phone, they'll say that I answer very quickly. I usually respond within an hour, the latest a day. But I'm on these things because I want everybody to win. I want everybody to get their life back. Okay, this is not yeah, I'm asking for, gifts now or donations. I'm in the process of setting up uh, a business. I had this idea of doing this, um, you know, when I was learning about this, and the business was going to be, it is going to be uh, divorce consultation because uh, divorce is one of the in a money magazine or one of those books is probably the single most catastrophic financial disaster people will have in their lifetime. Married people. So, and you know who makes all the money are the judges. I mean, not the judges. Well, the judges make money too, but are the lawyers. The lawyers make all the money. These rotten bastards. Okay? And they're disgusting people. They tell you what you need to hear because it happened to me. All right, I was a nervous wreck because I knew what I was going through. My ex-wife is a wicked, wicked woman. Okay, uh, she's the type of person that'll go buy a shirt, wear it, then pull a thread out and bring it back and say and she won't take. She'll wear it with the tag still on it, and then bring it back after she wore it and get our money back. Or buying a car. We bought a car one time, and I tell you, it took an hour to get out of there because she was looking for every little scratch, anything on the car like a smudge to get $1 removed on it. And I could tell you other stories. Um, so I know, and the attorney told me what I wanted to hear, and then once they get your money, the retainer, you cannot get them anymore. Um, and basically, all they're doing is they're making the money for themselves. I went to one attorney one time, and they had me. It was funny. It was like one of those financial disclosure forms that family court wants you to fill out, and they want to know how much money you have, so they could steal all the money. Well, not steal, but suck a parasite off the money. And then when almost all the money's gone, the equity in a home, if you have a home, and it's all gone. Then all of a sudden they come up with an agreement. All right. So what I want to do, or what I'm going to do, is you come see me. I will consult with you. That way, when you go sit down with the attorney, you're going to have everything set up to where you're going to say to the attorney, no, 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 no. I'm not doing this. No, 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 no. I'm not doing that. No, 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 no. I don't have to do that because what it is when you're going for a divorce, what you're doing is you'll say to the lawyer, "Can they do that? Can they do that?" what do I have to do this? Do I have to do that? And they say, yeah, yeah, oh, yeah, 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 oh yeah, yeah. The judge. This judge is this judge. She believes that you should pay for college. Meanwhile, there's no law that says you have to pay for college. This judge says it's all bullshit. So my consultation business, and of course child support, which is what I fell into right now. All right. So, and I've only been asking for donation and gifts for like last 2.5 months, and it's because I won. I wouldn't ask anybody for any money if I had no proof that I won. Okay. Uh, so I won. I won. I helped another guy win in Ohio. Uh, I had a guy reach out today to me in an email that his employer is not taking the money out anymore. And here's something for you guys and girls that you got to go to your employer and say, listen, this is the reason why going getting the paperwork out to the clerk is so important, that you have to do it as fast as possible. As soon as you have that paperwork back from the clerk's office that there are no judgments or undertakings. You see that there? That's what we're going to be talking about today. Oh boy, what I found today. Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, let me finish this real fast so we can get to this, because this is something very, very serious, and it's very good for us. Um, so what the hell was I just saying? uh, oh, Christ almighty, I lost my train of thought. Anyway, I'll remember. So, oh, Christ almighty. Anyway, listen. Today we're talking about. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. So when there is no judgment, money judgment with the clerk, you say to your employer, listen, you cannot get in any trouble with them, because all you have to show them is that, listen, my employee showed me that there's no money judgments filed. So how am I supposed to send you this money? And how can your employer get in any trouble? They cannot. It cannot happen. So this guy today, I said to, he goes, because he said that his employer was still nervous and everything. So I said to him, I go, well, get the paperwork from the clerk's office as soon as possible. That way, he could put his mind at ease, and that way he has ammunition. Okay. All right. Now, today, Undertaking. Now, how I came across this was I was doing some research on money judgments, and what I do is when I find something interesting, like let's say right here, this is public officers law, and anybody could do this now. Now, if you want to save this for your computer, right? You're looking at this, right? I can't. Wait a second. Let me see here. You come up here to file. You go down to where you come down. Oh, come on, computer. Some export as PDF, right? This will come up here, and you save it into one of your files. And now you have this, and you press save, click save, and you got it. It's all yours. Okay, it's your ammunition. Okay, so and that's what I do. And anytime I find something good, I add it to the folder that I send to everybody. So when you when you make a donation or a gift, I give to you guys all of these things right here. See that in the blue right there? That's what you get. All these PDFs here is a lot of information. This here will educate you like you would not believe. You will learn. This is what I learned with. And also what you're going to do, you're going to use these as weapons. Now, in the writ of quo warranto, you're going to have to get the public officer law. So what I'm doing with the writ of quo warranto, okay, is here. Here's one. Here it is. Okay, what we're doing here is every public officer, and that includes a judge, has to have an oath of office filed under public officer law. Okay? and every constitution has a section for public offices. So that means that every public officer has an oath sworn, that I so and so swear that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of blah blah blah. Well, guess what? When that officer, that judge, violates does not enforce the Constitution, they're breaking that oath under the public officer. That's the reason why we're getting a response from these writ of quo warranto. And guess what? Um, the like right here, see, New York Public Officers Law, official undertakers, takings. This is serious stuff. Okay, um, let me see here. Okay, undertaking. All right, let's read what undertaking is. What is an undertaking? An undertaking is a promise, engagement, or stipulation. Okay, a stipulation is an agreement. Each of the promises made by the parties to a contract, considered independently and not as mutual, may, in the sense, be denominated as undertaking, quotations. Undertaking is frequently used in the special sense of a promise given in the course of a legal proceeding by a party or his counsel, generally as a condition to obtaining some concession from the court or the opposite party. Guess what an undertaking is? An obligation. So now, when the court says, or child support says, you have an obligation to pay child support, you know what we're doing now? We're demanding a copy of the undertaking filed in the clerk's office. It has to be there. And if it's not there, guess what? They got a big problem. And I came across this by accident today, guys. And this is huge. And let me tell you something. This wasn't easy to find. That's another sign. I've been doing this stuff for a while. And whenever the powers that be out there, no, this is not some conspiracy theory stuff and whatever. I'm just telling you from somebody that spent hundreds of hours on the computer, if not thousands, looking up the law and everything. And I will tell you this. When they don't want you to know something, it's hard to find on the internet. Okay? What I had to do a lot of times is I have a thing called a VPN, which blocks your IP address. Because, when you have an email address, your email address is like having a social security number now. And a lot of times, you don't realize it, but your email address can be marked as spam, and you don't even know it. And you'll find out that you're blocked from certain websites. Like me, I found out that I'm blocked from a lot of legal websites, like to find laws and stuff. And I didn't even know it. Okay? So, now the undertaking, we're going to find out where is the undertaking with the clerk's office from the child support people. If they don't have it, they got big problems. So, so I couldn't find this, stuff that easy on the computer. That's how I knew I was onto something. Then I went on a website, and I forgot the name of it, but a window pops up where somebody that works for the website, like a lawyer or somebody, legal.com, I think that's what it is. We get asked legal definitions, and the lawyer came on and asked me a question, and I asked her what an undertaking was, and her response was, well, it depends on what state you're in. Okay, I'm in New York. Okay, do you have an undertaking filed against you? I said, well, let me ask you this. I said, can somebody take my property without an undertaking filed with the clerk's office? And she didn't answer me. And she's like, well, you know what? That's a question for a lawyer. And let me refer you to a lawyer right now. And I was like, and I responded to her, I go, wow, this undertaking is a very mysterious word. All right. And again, I wasn't easy to find. So like in New York, okay, now in New York State, we have the criminal procedure law rules. Okay, 2505 is filing of undertaking. Okay, It must be filed with the clerk. Be filed with the clerk of the court in which the action is triable. You know what that means, guys? Where can you have trials? Supreme Court. Okay? Can you have a trial in family court or the court of common pleas or the superior court? No. See what they're doing? They're playing games of where it is triable or upon appeal. Where else can you appeal? The appellate division of the Supreme Court. So that means it has to be filed in that court, or it's a county court. Most of the county clerks are in the Supreme Court building. Okay, in New York State, that's where they are, in Queens County here. So, in the office where the judgment or order of the court of original instance is entered, and a copy shall be served upon the adverse party. The undertaking is effective when so served and filed. Filed. Okay? So now I came across a case law that sent me onto this, and the case law was a company that was claiming that they don't have that well, they were trying to get a stay on the money judgment, the obligation to pay, and the lawyer successfully argued that we don't need a stay because the judgment doesn't exist because it was never filed. The undertaking wasn't filed, and I'm like, what the hell is this undertaking thing? And I came across this. So now, when you punch, I punched in, and I came across. I kind of figured out, all right, it's an undertaking is a judgment. All right. So now I come across the CPLR here that says it must be filed with the clerk's office. Well, also, money judgments must be filed with under 5016 in New York State law. But again, an undertaking is we're promising to pay back a loan. All right, so now we got to remember, child support is voluntary. We just don't know it because the whole scam is they're writing this court order, and they're calling us obligors, and you have an obligation. So where is a copy of your promise to pay? Doesn't exist. So I added it to the validation of debt, and I added it to the court. The court paper, I mean the clerk paperwork that we're sending it out to. Okay, so also I came across this in New York State. Now, if this is in New York State, it's in every state. New York County law. Now, there's all kinds of laws. Official undertakings. Every public officer has to file an undertaking promising to support the Constitution, and it's a surety bond. Basically, it's an insurance bond, and the reason why they do that is in the event they get caught, being dishonest and not doing their job, and somebody else sues them, the state is covered because the state cannot grant immunity, and the state won't get caught paying because that public officer didn't follow their oath. Okay? See? The county clerk, the county treasurer, the district attorney, the sheriff, such county officers as shall be specially required by law, and such other county officers as may be required by local law or resolution of board. Before entering upon the duties of his office, or should be his and her, execute an official undertaking as provided in Section 11 of Public Officers Law. Now, this is New York State. Now, this is going to be in every state. And remember, I provided it for you guys. Okay? Where is it? Where the hell is it? Hold on, guys. Here it is. Nope. There we go. All right. I provided it for you guys. I provided all 50 states, every public off, every state right here. You see, I got the public officer law for you. All you got to do is go and get it. And anybody out there, um, the website, what the hell is it? Just punch in. Well, I'll get it back to you. I'll put it in the description box later on. All right. But so now what we're going to do, because you have the public officer law, let me get back to that law real fast. Hold on there. Okay. All right. This is the law in New York State. Public Officers Law, Section 11. Official. That means that every public officer, including the judge, has to have an undertaking. Okay? And what is an undertaking? Well, that means the judge is promising to perform the duties or to discharge the duties, meaning enforcing to supporting the Constitution. Well, we know they're not. So now, by this, what I do is, as I was saying before, I did in the writ of quo warranto, I added it. See? On the date, this is the date you bring objection. So this objection to the court's denial or dismissal, anybody that has this, if they dismissed it, delete denial. If they denied it, delete dismissal. Okay? So this objection to this court's denial or dismissal of demand to vacate. Now remember, we're filing this after they already denied our demand to vacate, because we know they will, was without providing clarification of evidence of jurisdiction in support of the denial dismissal, is hereby presented to the name of the judge who dismissed it, or whoever, a judicial actor sworn to support and defend the Constitution of the United States and your state Constitution under Public Officers Law. Remember now, we have the site. You look it up, you add it there, and with undertaking filed in the county clerk's office. Okay, so now you could look up the Public Officers Law undertaking. So just Google Public Officers Law undertaking, and you'll get that law as well. So we know this is New York State, so I would just file, with undertaking under Public Officers Law, Section 11. Okay, and that's what I would put there. So that means that they have to have it filed in every county clerk. In the event of a failure to discharge duties or fraudulent or dishonest acts. Remember I said the other day that this writ of quo warranto is very powerful because we're asking them for their oath of office, their public under the Public Officers Law. And we're also asking for their surety bond in the undertakings. And, maybe by doing this, we're showing them that we mean business. And maybe they back the hell off. Okay? So, what I did is I added it to the clerk's paperwork as well. All right? So, what you're going to do is you're going to reach out to the clerk and you're going to say to the clerk, I have an obligation. It is alleged I have an obligation to pay child support. I need a copy of the undertaking of my undertaking that I swore that I would pay the obligation. If they can't show proof of it, you don't owe any money. See how this is? All you gotta do is search a little bit, and we get lucky every once in a while. Okay? So, this is important stuff here. That means that when they call you an obligor, so also you can add it. We're going to add it to the interrogatories. So when you send the interrogatories to the child support people, you're going to add for the discovery. Because that's what the interrogatories are. They're questions, but they're discovery of evidence. And as I said in my video blog yesterday, they're not responding, these people, too well. Okay, they're trying to be slick, these lawyers, because we got them. All right, we got them on the ropes. These people. You know, we're getting to these people. You know, we're picking them apart right now. Now I got the undertakings. Oh my God! Now we got something else. So you know, in the interrogatories, you know, we're gonna demand. This is my wife in the background. We're gonna demand that. Can I have a copy of the interrogatory? I mean, of the undertaking, filed with the clerk's office that I promised to pay you. Because you keep calling me an obligor. You keep saying I have an obligation. So where is my undertaking? Okay? Where is my undertaking that I swore that I would pay? It doesn't exist. Okay? So, you know, don't take my word for it. Look it up yourself, okay? Um, and I just put this together real fast because I just found it. And I wanted to do this before, you know, before the day was over. All right. Oh, look at me. We just went out to dinner the other night. Aren't we looking nice, me and my wife? Um, so when they start calling us an obligor and having an obligation, we must have signed we must have signed the promise to pay somewhere, an undertaking. Guess what? If we don't have one, we got a problem. So how can we pay a debt if we didn't sign? It's another way of proving a debt doesn't exist. All right. So listen, I hope to hear from you guys. Again, it's rick0327 at me.com. All right. I'm in the process of adding these things, updating the paperwork. You could do it yourself, guys. Don't be lazy. Okay. That's part of learning. So if you already have my paperwork, you can add it yourself. If you can't, you know, reach out to me. I got no problem resending the paper many times to people that have given me donations or gifts. Oh, here's another thing. Listen to me, guys. I am not a charitable donation company. So please, if you gave me money, don't write me off on your taxes, please. Okay? One guy, and you know, he was a little dubious. I was a little suspicious. Says, "Oh well, can you send me a request?" So I'm not doing that anymore, by the way. You know, on PayPal, you send a request, which is it's like a trail that I'm asking for money. And he goes, "Well, I need it for my records, my business records." And I'm like, "Buddy, I'm not a business that you're gonna write me off on your taxes. $100, $100. I sent $100 donation to Rick W. Next thing you know, 5 years from now, I'll be doing how to beat the IRS videos because I'll be in a battle with the IRS for 5 years. Okay, I don't have any problems with the IRS, nor do I want any. Okay, fighting these cretins in child support was hard enough. Okay, so you know, you're sending me gifts, guys, for my hard work. All right, so listen, have a good night. Get to work, undertakings, do the research. All right, good night, guys.